That's basically how the Middle Ages happen, yeah. Yeah, people always discount this because everyone thinks it was all swords or whatever. Nobody used swords in the Middle Ages. If you showed up to a battlefield with a sword, they would all call you a nerd. Everyone had spears because you could use spears in formations, and you can't do that with swords. Not really. Yeah, swords were sidearms for the wealthy. They were like having a handgun. Um, Swords were used for competition. Swords were expensive. They were used for competition. They took a lot of training to use well. They were used for personal self-defense because obviously you can't carry around a 16-foot pike to defend yourself at the local tavern. But most people for self-defense had daggers. Having a sword usually meant you had money. Spears are really cheap because they're basically just like a sharp metal bit on top of a long, like, wood pole. So that's kind of cheap, you know? Swords have to be balanced and, fancy pantsy, A spear breaks. You just get another stick and another pointy bit of metal. Or even a rock. Swords are still expensive? Yeah, swords are still expensive. Yeah. People use great swords to destroy spears and pikemen. Sometime the overall the I don't want to get into this. Very true. It's conditional, okay? What about the Guts sword from Berserk? Well, that was the great sword that was being referred to. Basically, basically the majority of medieval warfare was spears, and that's why when the black swordsman showed up, everyone was like, "Holy shit, this guy's strong as." Guts wasn't even especially good at fighting. He just had the one great sword in a world of spears, and that's what makes his character special. Where's the actual full body? Here we go. There we go. It's like a 3D model of him. Hell yeah. Who the fuck is that guy? Who the fuck is Gatsu? The fuck are you talking about? Who the fuck is Gatsu? That's the goddamn black swordsman. Who's your black swordsman? Kirito? Loser. It's Goku. Do you think now that Miura is dead, and now that his disciples are the ones continuing Berserk, do you think they're gonna go full corporate and do crossovers? Like, do you think we're going to see Guts in Fortnite? Or like, what if Goku showed up as one of the demon bosses, one of the apostles in the manga? How sick would that be, dude? Okay, for one though, having him in Fortnite would be great. After the story finishes, yeah. Wow, you're strong. I'd love to train with you. I would unironically buy Soul Calibur if he showed up. Yeah, too bad Soul Calibur's a shit franchise. Yeah, got him. What would Guts' power level be? Um, okay, well, power level doesn't mean anything, so you can't even say. Piccolo was threatening to blow up entire cities with one laser ball when he was at like 200 power level. Doesn't mean anything. Uh, hmm. Yeah, I don't know. Do you like Tekken? I don't really like fighting games. Yeah, Roshi destroyed the moon when he had a power level of like 5, okay? Stupid. Power scalers, Omegalol. What Straw Hats could Guts beat? Oh, shit. Hold on. Spoilers for the current Straw Hat crew. If for any reason that means anything to you and you haven't been spoiled by just existing in society. Alright. Okay. Luffy's off the table, obviously, right? Like, let's be real here, okay? He's off the table. Zoro's off the table. Nami's dead. Nami gets cleaved in half in like 2 seconds, okay? Um, Nami's already dead. It's there's no chance, okay? Um, hmm. Chopper, there's no chance. He's already dead. What about Sanji? Why is that center guy so wall-eyed? Him? Because he's retarded. Canonically. Luffy is an ace 4 IQ king, and we respect him for it, okay? He's literally just retarded. Sanji can kick some ass. I'm trying to think of what the strongest thing Sanji. It's like that power scaling thing too. I mean, back before they even made it to the New World, even back when they were fighting like CP0 or CP9, whatever it was, that one guy like cleaved a building in half with his kick. I mean, I feel like shit has gone up so much. And Guts fought that grappler guy. Yeah, Usopp would die. Nobody talks about Sanji's grippers. You mean his asshole? What do you mean his gripper? Sanji can predict the future, I think. Sanji and Luffy can both predict the future to an extent. Wait, by grippers you mean his toes? Who the How much shit are you gripping with your toes? You walk on your feet. Your toes are there. What? Gripper equals asshole? What are you gripping with your toes? He's a monkey? No, Luffy's a monkey, not Sanji. To pick up socks, idiot? I guess. Okay, I think the only ones here who would win would be Luffy, Zoro, and I forget the fishman's name, which sucks because I actually really like him. What about Nico Robin? Can Nico Robin just snap his neck? No, Nico Robin couldn't snap his neck because he'd be in the Berserk armor, right? He'd be in this, except with the wolf design for the face. There's no way, right? Who's the strongest guy that Guts ever beat? What in like a direct one-on-one fight? What's the highest feat? Zod? Has he never beat anyone stronger than Zod? I mean, he killed an eldritch god from the inside out, but that wasn't really a straight up fight. The dragon? Yeah, I guess. He kind of took out the big lightning cloud guy, but that felt like a non-direct matchup. Ganishka? Yeah, but like that was also like a mage, not a warrior. I don't know, man. It's kind of hard to say. The weird thing is that like okay, the main difference with power scaling is that in One Piece there is a huge range in power levels where people have gone from like knives being a threat to them to being able to demolish entire islands with their thoughts. And that's cool. And the Straw Hat crew have been moving their way up that to now to the point where they're basically on top. Like not fully, but basically on top. And the problem with Berserk is that you go all the way up from regular human beings to literal gods of the universe. And in spite of Guts getting really strong, he's basically no closer to beating these guys than he was at the beginning. That's the weird thing. Like the like he like stabbed an intestine manifestation of the whore princess at one point, but like these are like conceptual deities that he doesn't actually have the ability to, you know? So in terms of the power scaling of his universe, he can't actually get to where he needs to go. Unless they do some ass pull shit, and I really hope they don't. I assume that eventually he like defeats Femto by kissing him really deep. He gives Griffith a big smoochy kiss, and that makes him stop being evil or decide to kill himself or something. That's really the only shot exploiting Griffith's like repressed homosexuality for Guts is the only shot he has at killing him because in terms of like pure power levels, there's no shot. Like Griffith, he literally like walked up to that like Indian god king demon guy and like tapped him once and he exploded. There's no way. Repressed? It was pretty repressed, dude. Like from the way Griffith's brain was going, he should have been like slobbering on Guts the entire time they were together. When they met in the graveyard of the Band of the Hawk, like Griffith should have had like the swirly eyes with the heart for a pupil. You know, you've read the hentai, right? Where the girls have the hold on, hentai heart eyes anime. Okay, like if he was being true to his feelings, Griffith would have been staring at Guts like this the entire time they were speaking to each other at the graveyard of the Band of the Hawk. They just, like slobbering, but he didn't, and that's why he's repressed. This is true and canonical, by the way. Does anyone disagree? Woman? Griffith is basically a woman. It's fine. You got to read the new chapters? Yeah, I do. Okay. Moving on. Why are they hearts white and not black? Because they're very horny, all right? Grow up. Tesla? Oh, politics? Why do people say Griffith is the hero after the Eclipse stuff? There's a lot of reasons, but a lot of them are just that he's hot. So it's just edge? A little bit, yeah. Be caught up in One Piece? Almost. I agree, Griffith got so mad that Guts broke up with him that he f***ed a princess. Yeah, whoa, spoilers! Okay, let's move on.